Hey guys, Lewis, and this is the 2019 Volvo XC90. So this car is one of the safest cars on the road. It weighs like 6,000 pounds and it has it's a really safe vehicle because it's made out of steel and even some aluminum. The crash tests on this were like really not too much damage. There still was damage and not as bad as an unsafe car or a car that's safe, not as safe as this, which is showing how safe the car is. This car comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which makes it sound like a 6 or 8-cylinder. Because it has a really good sports sound and it has a sports car engine. Kind of reminds me of an Audi Q7 or like a Porsche Cayenne SUV. Is like about the same size of both of them. The difference is it's more safe. Like the Porsche and the Audi is safe. The Audi is really safe. This car is the safest on the road. As I said, how safe it is. Because safety is one thing on this car. It does a lot to it. Because safety with one thing on this car, it does a lot to it. Okay, so I'm in the car, and as you can see, we got some leather. This is really good leather, which makes this a luxury SUV. The leather makes it even more luxurious, as you can see that. And here we got the screen. We got the volume over here. And we got a glove box. Really large glove box. Here we got the driver's seat. So you can flip the stations, radio music stations up here. And you also have a bunch of different options right here. Right down here, you have a bunch of options. So you got a lot of room in this car. This could carry 7 passengers. As some of you might have noticed already, that it only carries 5 passengers right here, because it just doesn't have a third row in it. Now we got a really, really large trunk. Okay, now we open the trunk. This has got a lot of room without a third row. So if you had the third row, you still got some room. You could probably still fit golf clubs in it. Couple sets, like maybe 2 sets of golf clubs. Now we got a lot of room. So we got some really nice rims here and really good sport tires, as you can see. Really, really good tires, like it says Scorpion and Pirelli. So I would like to talk about the pricing of this car. So, the base models and T5s would probably start around 50,000 to 60,000. As this one, the T6, this one's gonna be just around 70,000. And now if you go to the T8 and stuff like that, they're the extra luxury model. They get up to like 100,000. This right here is a T6, which is probably out of all of them, all the options, the most sportiest one. I say that because of its awesome rims and tires. And its style, as I said, it reminds me of like a Porsche SUV. And wait till you hear the sound of this car, because this car makes a sport sound just for a 4-cylinder engine. It sounds like a V8, really, or a good V6. It's an amazing V4 or 4-cylinder engine. So I'd like to start with the history of this car. So this car came out in 2003, and the price was much cheaper than it is now. It only costs like mid 30,000, 40,000-ish. And it was still a luxury vehicle. They got much more sport design and luxury over the years. As they then started making their model more of a sport design and more luxury design, because in 2003 and like the early models, they were small until about like recent, like 5-10 years ago, they started looking more like this. Because they used to be more like a hatchback, or really or a smaller SUV. They look like the XC40 or 60, because they were much smaller, and they probably match up to the same size as the new models of the 40. Nowadays, with the 2003 version of this car. So that's just a quick history. They made it much better, like probably in 2010, I would say, or 12, maybe 2015. Well, in 2015, they got really more good. They got really, like, more of a luxurious design. And now they're only using 4-cylinder engines, 2-liter. This is the T6, which turbocharged engine would... It's the engine... Like, you don't see too much turbo engines, like until... Like, you don't get that much good sounds. It kind of sounds like a Porsche Carrera or Porsche, like, Turbo S. Because the sounds of it with its turbo engine remind me of a Porsche. Okay, now we're gonna start up the car. Well, my father is gonna be driving it. Now, that sound, it's a quick sound. It's not like a loud car or anything. That is a good sound. That is the sound of a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. And now you can get a glimpse of the sound. Now that sounds turbo, like. That sounds good. My father's just cleaning out the car because there is some leaves in here, and we did just have a snowstorm. Well, the snow is all wiped off, and there is some leaves because it was from the autumn. Whoa! That's your turbocharged engine sound. Right there. That is a good sound. Let's close that up. Okay, so now we're going to take the car for a test drive. And this, I'm going to get my seatbelt on. This is going to be a good sound you're going to hear. I mean, we're only going 13 miles an hour, and it still sounds like we're driving a Porsche or other sports cars with turbocharged engines. That is really a good sound. It does sound like a really good V6 or even a V8 as we get that sound right there. Now that sounds like a true sports car, and I probably would call this car a sports car mainly because of its sound. Even though it's 4-door and it's an SUV, I would still consider it in the sports car level. You don't hear much road noise because it's quiet inside the car. Well, you have a nice engine sound. Wow. That is a really good sound. For only a 4-cylinder turbocharged. It's turbocharged makes it sound better. So that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on any new videos.